Greetings guitar players and welcome to the Indian Classical Guitar Academy. My name's Jack Jennings. So I'd just like to talk a little bit about John McLaughlin, and some of you may know that earlier this month on the 4th of January he turned 80, and I've decided to do a series of videos talking about John McLaughlin and his broader influence on music, the deeper messages that seem to be coming through his music, and the technicality of some of the things that he plays, and also planning to do some performances of rags that I'm going to dedicate to John McLaughlin as well. So I've got a few different things coming up, different discussions and some in-depth analysis and different things that I'm planning to do, because Indian classical guitar wouldn't really be the same without John McLaughlin, because of the work that he did with Shakir, working with Indian classical music, Indian classical musicians directly, but also the way that he took the influence of Indian classical music and put it onto his electric guitar and his band, the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and just all the kind of things that John's done for the guitar. And I certainly wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for John McLaughlin. I wouldn't be doing Indian classical music on the guitar. I'm almost sure of that. So there's so much that I would like to say about John McLaughlin. There's so much I'd love to go into, and that's why I'm going to make a few different videos with different people, just to delve into him as a life force, as a huge impact upon music. But I'd just like to share for this video the time that I met John McLaughlin and how it really changed everything for me. My career just took on a new direction and a new form after meeting John McLaughlin. And the reason for that is just that I got a sense of just his drive and his attitude of just making things happen, and I just felt that I was somehow touched by that, and then maybe imbued with just a little bit of that and then started acting out the things I really wanted to do in my life musically. I just put them into action. I just simply said, I'm going to start making these things happen now. Because I could feel that his drive, that he just made stuff happen for himself and for other people. So the time that I met John McLaughlin was, he had a short residency at Ronniescotts Jazz Club in London back in 2017. And Jeff Beck was there. Jeff Beck was hanging out as well. So that was pretty funny. It was kind of surreal. It felt like being in like a movie or something, because Ronniescotts is such an awesome place, such a beautiful venue, and you've got the little red lamps on all the tables, so it feels like you're in like a jazz movie. And you just got the most amazing jazz fusion band in the world playing on stage. It was unbelievable. So anyway, I got to meet him afterwards, and I just kind of introduced myself, and I was really nervous, but what I couldn't believe, what struck me, is that he seemed kind of genuinely eager to find out like who is this person who's in front of me now speaking to me. It wasn't like, oh yeah, thanks, okay, yeah, thanks for coming, blah blah blah, okay, yeah, great, fine, and then next person. It wasn't like that at all. It didn't feel like he was in a rush, or oh, it's just another person to meet. It was like he looked at me more kind of inquisitively and with more attention than just a regular person that you meet in the day looks at you. It was like he looked at me, and it was as if he was saying, okay, who are you? Tell me who you are. And I was like, oh my god, this is really strange. I couldn't believe this feeling, because I've looked up to him for so long. I discovered his music when I was 16, and it really helped me to grow into myself and the whole vision of who I want to be as a musician and as a person. My whole life journey is really, he's such a hero to me, such a huge inspiration. So I was saying to him, well, I'm kind of I'm sort of like a distant disciple of yours, if I dare say. You know, I've been studying Indian classical music as well, and I'm trying to apply that to the guitar. And I can't remember what I said exactly, but I just said, you know, I'm working really hard at trying to do this. And he said to me, okay, yeah, I can see that's gonna come together. That's gonna come together for you. And I started getting shivers. It's like, I can't believe it. John McLaughlin is telling me that it's going to come together. John McLaughlin's telling me that my musical journey is going to work. And it was just like, I mean, what is he? He doesn't know anything about me, but maybe he could sense in just the way I was talking to him that I was just very sincere, and you know, I really meant what I was saying, that I'm really trying to do this journey of playing Indian music and adapting it to the guitar, and I'm such a big fan of yours, and I'm always trying to learn. And so I guess maybe he was saying, yes, it will come together, it will work, because he knows that if you keep working on something and you're persistent and you have that drive, that it will come together, you know. So, but just him saying that to me was like, it was like the god of guitar kind of coming down and saying, yes, this will work. The path you're on it will result in good things. So I couldn't believe it. And then I was saying to him how it's amazing how your music, how your playing has kept developing over the years. It's kept changing, and to me, I think that his guitar playing, he's developed the depth of the improvisation and the kind of variation in his lines. It's become more and more idiosyncratic and more varied, and the level of detail and control and how his lines keep weaving, the way that he improvises, it's really developed more and more over the years, right through his 60s and 70s, and now he's 80. So I was saying this to him, you know, that his playing just keeps developing and it's really outstanding. And he just said, yeah, you know, because even in 6 months' time, we can change a lot. We can be focusing on different things and moving through different phases, and just in 6 months, there can be quite a big difference. And I've heard him say something like that in another interview before. And it's just a real testament when you hear someone saying that, and it's like truth, it's trialed and tested truth, because he's been doing this all his life. So just that kind of confidence and just that realization that yes, you can actually keep developing and changing, and even if you've been playing guitar for 30, 40 years, in 6 months' time you could be a different musician. You could be playing in a different way. And then it got to the point where I became very overwhelmed and very emotional, and I could hardly deal with the situation, because it was just meaning overload. It was so meaningful. I was just like, I couldn't believe it. So I started to kind of just do this, and I was standing in front of him, but I'm just like, and I can't believe I'm standing in front of you. I just can't believe this. I wasn't verbalizing this. It was just my body language to him was obviously like, whoa, okay, this guy's about to faint or something. so he then he grabbed my hand, he held my hand, and he squeezed my hand really hard. He gave me like the most intense handshake I've ever had. He really squeezed my hand and he really looked me in the eye, and it was like he was saying, I get it. I get it. I understand what you're feeling. You know, it's this sense of having someone to look up to, and what they signify is the immense possibility of music and how that manifests in your life and how powerful that is, and just that drive and the how deeply meaningful music can be in your life, and when you're fully pursuing that path. And it was as if I'm encountering someone who symbolizes that so deeply that it's almost painful to bear, to be in front of someone like that. And it was like he was holding my hand saying, I get it, I understand. It was very, very, it was really quite transformative for me. So that happened, and then I kind of and I gave him my CD as well. That was funny. And so then I sat down after that, with my friend Luke, and I was just like speechless. I was really knocked out. It was like I didn't know what to do with myself. I just kind of sat there for a few minutes, just kind of like staring into space, and I was completely blown away. And then I was talking to Luke and my friend, and I was saying that wow, I can really feel like this guy's energy was just so direct, and just the way that he kind of looked at me and was like, okay, who are you? Tell me who you are. Like, it was just like no pretension, no like, yeah, just no mask. It was like, okay, who are you really? I know you're just here, you want to meet me, but okay, who are you? Who is it that wants to meet me? He was so direct like that. It was just no nonsense, no messing around, no formality, just like, hi, who are you? And it was so direct. And I could just really feel the intensity of his musical spirit and just his drive and how he just made things happen. I got a bit of a feeling of just the fire that lives within him that just enabled him to form these incredible bands and pull these amazing musicians together and have such a vision for this music and just make it happen. So basically I came away from that, and then I just thought, well, I've just got to do this. It had been a few years. I'd had my daughter a few years before that, and so life had become very simple and just working from home, teaching guitar lessons, teaching little guitar courses, and playing with people a little bit, but not really doing much with the music. It was quite a quiet time, but I was practicing a lot. So I felt I was kind of ready to pursue something different. I felt my technique and different ideas I was working on, I felt like I was ready to pursue something new, or not to pursue something new, but just with the Indian classical music, I felt like I was getting to a point where I was ready to throw myself in the deep end. And then after meeting John, I just thought, well, I just have to make this happen. I literally just have to do it. So then I just started sending emails to musicians that I'd had connections with, and just making phone calls and just reaching out and just trying to make different things happen. And then I got in touch with Manish Pingley, who's an amazing slide guitar player, who there's videos on my channel of us playing together in our trio, attuned, with Goudet and Riot on tabla. So I just, I'd met these guys a few months before at a concert, and just introduced myself and started playing to them, and they seemed quite interested in what I was doing, but I hadn't really acted upon it, So I just got in touch with them and said, look, I really want to do something. I really want to play together. How can we do it? And I won't go into that whole story now, maybe that's for another video, but basically it just made me just throw myself out there, and just anything that you've got in your mind, oh, wouldn't it be interesting if I could get a chance to play with so-and-so, or maybe I could follow this connection that I had once upon a time, or just having the drive and just the snap to say, right, now, do it now. Send the email, make the phone call, make the arrangement, just make it happen, and just push forward. And and then we got together, and then I started being really active, like booking us concerts and making sure that we'd have time to rehearse and scheduling things and just pushing everything forward. And then everything started to happen from there. I started, playing with them, having great concerts, and then being introduced to Roopa Panesar, who became my guru, and she introduced me to Shakir Khan, who also became my guru. So then I had these two amazing teachers in my life, and then different musicians I was starting to collaborate with as a result of that. So everything started to happen for me after that. And then of course, when the pandemic started, then everything kind of changed a bit. But at least by that point, I had a bit of momentum, I had much more experience, so then I felt I was ready to make my guitar courses. So then the Indian Classical Guitar Academy develops out of that. So all of that really happened right from the spark, was meeting John McLaughlin. And that enabled me to really push through to just pursue my own dream and my own path. And so far, this is where it's taken me, and I'm still just beginning the journey, it feels like. So thanks very much for watching this. It's been a long video, much longer than I expected, but it's good to tell the story in depth. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm going to be talking more about John McLaughlin. I've got some great musicians that I'm doing a big discussion with about John McLaughlin, and a few other things that I mentioned, like performances dedicated to him, and maybe some analysis videos as well. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and see you soon.